Hello students, in today's lecture video we shall discuss about distempers and distempering, and we will also cover whitewashing and color washing. So first we shall start with distempers and distempering. So distempers are considered to be water paints consisting of whiting, that is powdered chalk, glue or casein as binder and suitable proportion of fast coloring pigments, and these distempers form a cheap, durable and easily applied decoration for internal use on plastered cement, concrete and various wallboard surfaces. Distempering is the process of applying distempers over the various surfaces more easily and with lesser coat than paints and varnishes, to safeguard them against weather effects and to improve their appearance. The study of distempers and distempering can be divided into the following heads, and they are distempering or application of distempers, distempers and their composition, properties of distempers and important consideration in distempering. But from your exam point of view, the application of distempers is very important. So we shall discuss about the distempering or application of distempers. So it follows certain steps. In the very first step, first the surface is prepared. So if the receiving surface is rough, it should be rubbed down smooth with a sandpaper and then cleaned. The surface should be perfectly dry before applying the distempers. A new plastered surface for distempering should be prepared considering the following practical aspects. First, the new plaster surfaces should be allowed to dry for at least 2 months before applying distemper. New lime plaster surfaces should be washed with a solution of 1 to 50 sulfuric acid and left for 24 hours, after which the walls should be thoroughly washed with clean water. New cement plastered surfaces should be washed with a solution of zinc sulfate and then allowed to dry. The treated surface should be wiped with a clean cloth to remove any efflorescence patches before distempering. In case of distempering old surfaces, at first all dulls, loose materials, scales, etc. are removed by wire brushes. The surface irregularities due to cracks, holes, etc. are then repaired by lime putty or plaster of Paris. The whole surface is rubbed down by a sandpaper, washed clean and allowed to dry. If the surface to be distempered, whether new or old, is tough, then a coat of whiting mixed with a solution of glue should be applied. Then the second step is the priming coat. So after preparing the surface, priming coat is applied and then left to dry. If ready-made distempers are used, then priming coat all consist of materials as recommended by makers of distempers. When local materials are used in preparing distempers, then milk is generally used for priming coat. Then the third step is for coats of distemper. Over the priming coat, coats of distemper of good quality should be applied uniformly in succession. One coat over the other is applied only when the former one gets completely dried and becomes hard. On new lime plastered walls, distemper should be applied in 2 to 3 coats over 1 coat of priming. On old lime plastered walls which are covered with 1 or 2 coats of hard dry wash, 1 coat of distemper without priming can be used, but a coating of warm glue prior to the application of distemper is useful. In applying the distemper, the brush should first be applied horizontally and then immediately creased off vertically. So this is the method of distempering. This is very important from your exam point of view. Then the next item that we are going to discuss is about whitewashing. So the complete process of whitewashing can be carried out under the following operations, and they are preparation of whitewash, preparation of surface, and application of whitewash. The whitewash is prepared from fresh burnt shell lime or pure stone lime mixed with water. Shell lime is preferred to pure lime as it is whiter and slakes more perfectly to a smoother paste. To prepare whitewash, fresh lime is slaked at site of work and is dissolved in a tub with sufficient quantity of water. After slaking, it is allowed to remain in the tub of water for 2 days and then stirred up with a pole until it attains consistency of thin cream. This mixture is then strained or screened through clean coarse cloth and clean gum dissolved in hot water is then added at the rate of 2 kg per cubic meter of lime to the whitewash water. The solution so formed is called as whitewash. Sometimes a part or whole of the gum may be replaced by the rice. To prevent the glare effect due to whitewash, sometimes the copper sulfate at the rate of 4 kg per cubic meter of thin cream is added. In order to have better adhesive properties, alum or common salt may be added in the same proportion as gum. In the next step, the surface is prepared. So before applying whitewash to a new wall surface, it is essential that the surfaces should be cleaned, brushed and made free from loose materials and any other foreign matter. If the surface to be coated is entire smooth or over smooth, then coats will not stick to it. So in such a case, the surface should be rubbed with sandpaper and to ensure proper adhesion of whitewash. In case of re-whitewashing, all loose materials and scales should be scraped off. The old loose whitewash is removed by rubbing with sandpaper. All holes in wall, irregularities of surface, minor repairs, etc. are corrected in advance by filling with lime putty. All greasy spots should be given a coat of mixture of rice water and sand so that the finishing wash may stick to the surface. If old whitewash is discolored by smoke or other reasons as in kitchens, factories, restaurants, etc., then in such cases the surface should be given a wash of a mixture of wood ashes and water before the application of whitewash. Cement plastered walls should be washed with a weak solution of soap and dried before applying whitewash. In the last step, whitewash is applied. The whitewash is applied to a specified number of coats with a jute brush. Usually 3 coats are required for new work, and for scrapped surfaces, while 1 or 2 coats are considered sufficient for old work. For each coat, 1 stroke is given from the top downwards and the other from the bottom upwards over the first stroke, and similarly 1 stroke from the right and another from left over the first brush before it dries. Each coat should be allowed to dry before applying the next coat. The finished dry wash surface should not show any signs of cracking or peeling and should also not come off readily on fingers when rubbed. Next we shall discuss about color washing. So color wash is usually prepared by adding necessary coloring pigments in suitable quantities to the screened whitewash or liquid mixture of whitewash, and it should be ensured that the coloring pigment is not affected by presence of lime. The color wash is applied in exactly similar manner as whitewash. The color wash is constantly stirred with a stick during the use. The quantity of color wash, which is just enough for the day's work, should be prepared at time in the morning. The wash of different colors can be prepared as follows. So for buff color wash, this is prepared by mixing sufficient quantity of earth and whitewash solution and then screening through clean cloth. Blue color wash, it is obtained by adding burnt coconut shells with the whitewash solution. Yellow color wash, this is obtained by adding yellow earth with the whitewash solution. Slate color wash, This is obtained by adding lamp black and blue in suitable quantities in the whitewash solution. Green color wash is obtained by mixing solution of boiled mango bark in water of whitewash and of toothia, that is copper sulfate, in water in certain proportions. Pink color wash, this is obtained by adding vermilion with whitewash. So with this we have covered distempering, whitewashing and color washing. So if you have got any doubts, you can ask me in the official WhatsApp group.